Hello everyone. Am I audible to you? Please let me know. Hello ma. Hello. Am I audible for everyone? Yes. So, so today's topic, like the previous topics we have covered, are probability, permutations, and combinations. And there are a few more topics that we are left to cover. So what we'll be doing is we'll go through the rest of the topics that we haven't covered. Okay. I'll be present. Is my screen sharing for all of you? So yes, ma'am. Okay. So we will be continuing from the rest of the topics we have left. Okay. We'll read the question first. It rained as a journey without stopping in 8 hours. If it had traveled 5 kilometers an hour faster, it would have done the journey in 6 hours 40 minutes. What is the slowest speed? So they are giving us the distance traveled is same, right? And the time and the speeds are varying right here. So what we can do is, as we have considered, if d1 equals to d2, we can write it as s1 t1 equals to s2 t2, right? Now we have the values of s1, like that we'll be considering at s, and the t1 is 8 hours, and they have given that if the time, if it had traveled 5 kilometers an hour faster, right? So the s2 will be s plus 5, and the time will be 6 hour 40 minutes, that we can consider at 62 by 3 or 20 by 3. We can write it in our own way, and it would be better if we write it as 20 by 3 for cancellation. Okay, so I'll be writing the solution down here. D1 equals to D2, because the distance traveled is same in this scenario. The time is 8 hours. In the first case scenario, the time is 8 hours, and in the second case scenario, what it is, kilometers an hour faster. So the S2 will be S plus 5. Then what is the time given? 6 hour 40 minutes. How much is 40 minutes on 60 minutes? Is 2 by 3 part of an hour, right? So we can write it as 6 2 by 3. And for us to have a better cancellation, we'll be writing it as 20 by 3. Option is first option. I'm explaining it to you again. So d1 equals to d2 because the distance traveled by the train is constant. So now what we do is we can write distance as speed into time. So we'll write s1 into t1 equals to s2 into t2. We don't know the value of s in the first case, so we take it as s, and the time is given. And if the speed is increased with 5, so s plus 5 into 6 or 20, 6 or 2 by 3 means 20 by 3. So we write it this way and we get the s value as 25. I hope everyone understood this. And while coming to the next question, two friends X and Y walk from A to B at a distance of 39 kilometer. So they are given, there is a two friends X and Y, and they are walking from a distance A to B at walking from A to B at a distance of 39. The distance between A and B is given, that is 39 kilometer at a 3 kilometer an hour and 3.5 kilometer an hour respectively. Okay, it is given their respective speeds. So A will be X will be traveling at 3 kilometer per hour, and Y will be traveling 3.5 kilometer per hour. Y reaches B, returns immediately, and meets X at C. Find the distance from A to C. So in this kind of questions, what we can do is, first of all, we'll be considering the distance traveled totally by all of them together, right? So just give me a second. Yes, here if we consider this to be point A and this to be point B. The distance between A and B is given already. So what we'll do here is, first of all, X is the guy who's traveling with 3 kilometer per hour, 3.5 kilometer per hour, kmph. Okay. And what is the scenario given is, the guy X, let us consider, again I'm drawing the diagram for you to be clear. The guy who's traveling with the highest speed, that is y, right? And so the scenario will be like this: the guy may be here x, the guy will be x, and y will be x. Will be traveling to the end, and he is traveling back to the same position and meeting him here, right here, right? So for example, if you consider this distance to be x, this distance will be how much, ma? 39 minus x. So what we have to do is, the distance covered by x is how much? Distance covered by x. So what is the distance covered by y? And kilometer. And he traveled back again 39 minus. So this is the distance traveled by y. Hello everyone. Is my voice audible? Okay. Okay. So yes, more sorry for the disturbance. And yeah, here if we see that the people like x and y, the speed of x is like the distance traveled by x is x, and the distance traveled by y is 39 plus 39 minus x, right? So if we see the distance traveled by 8, that is the distance traveled by both of them together. Like no matter what the value of x is, it is getting cancelled at the end. X and so I'll be writing it clearly even more. Just be patient with the system. Okay, this is the point A, and this is the point B, and traveling from A to B, and the distance traveled together by both A and B is 78, because A goes from this point to this point, X goes from this point to this point, and what happens is Y travels from A to B and travels back to this point C. Somehow for them to meet. Plus 39 minus x, and the distance traveled by both of them together is 78. Now what I want to tell is the speed of x is 3 and the speed of y is 3.5, right? So if the speeds we add, that is 6.5. For able to cover a distance of 78 with a speed of 6.5 kilometer per hour together. Now we can find out the value of this particular value, right? This particular x. This is the time travel. I hope everyone is understanding. And what is the question that have asked us? Can someone please respond if my voice is audible or not? Okay. So for a distance of 6.5, like the speed of 6.5 kilometers per hour, they are covering 78 kilometers distance. See, this is the speed, and this is the time. And what we know here, 3 is the speed of x. And how much is the distance covered by him? X. So for 6.5 kilometer per hour, they are covering 78 kilometers. Then for 3 3 km per hour, how much distance they would cover? That is x, because x travels from A to C and that value is x. Now, after doing cross multiplication, we can get the value is equals to 3 into 78, right? And now we'll get the x value as, okay, this cancels here 6 times. So x equals to 3 into 6 into 2, that is 6 into 6, 36. So the answer is 36. I'll explain it to you once again. Please be patient. There is A and a point B. And what is happening is there are two persons X and Y, and that person X, he is traveling with a speed of 3 km per hour, and we are considering that distance to be X. And there is a person Y who is traveling at 3.5 km per hour, and he is traveling towards the point B and traveling back to C so that he can meet X. So X and Y are meeting at a point called C, and the distance traveled by X is X and distance traveled by Y is 78 minus X. So now what I have concluded is, if both of them together with a speed of 6.5 km per hour can cover a distance of 78 km, then if only x is traveling with 3 km per hour and the distance covered by him is x, we can find out the value of x by doing the cross multiplication. And I did the cross multiplication here. X into 13 by 2 equals to 3 into 78, and we got the value of x equals to 36. I hope it is clear for everyone, and I am gonna rush through things because we don't have much time and we have a lot of problems to solve right now. And please put your comments in the comment section, and I will definitely get back to you once I see the comment. Do let me know if everything is clear for you or not. Well, coming to the next question, if a car moves from A to B at a speed of 60 km per hour and comes back from B to A at a speed of 40 km per hour, then find its average speed during the journey. So they are giving us two scenarios where they are traveling from A to B and coming back from B to A. So it is like A to B and B to A, and they are traveling with speed 1 here, and they are traveling with speed 2 here. That is the scenario. And they are asking us to find out the average speed during the entire journey. For us to calculate the average speed during the entire journey, there is a formula. Please memorize it. When it is given that a car or any item that is moving from A to B with speed 1 and B2 with speed 2, and the S1 plus S2, that is 60 plus 40, that is 100. I'll be cancelling the zeros here. That is 2 into 24, that equals to 48. This is a formula, ma. Please memorize it. When it is given that a car or any item that is moving from A to B with speed 1 and B to A with speed 2, and they ask us to find out the average speed during the entire journey, then the formula is 2 S1 S2 by S1 plus S2. And we have the values of S1 and S2, and we substituted them in here, and we got the answer as 48. So the option is B. I hope it is clear for all of you, and I also hope you are making note of it so that you can solve it whenever you face a question like this. Well, coming to the next question, by running at 4 by 7th of his speed, a man can reach the target by 18 minutes late. Find the usual time taken by him. So they have given us, again, it is the same distance, right? The distance covered here is same, but what is the difference? The time and the speed are varying. And what is the formula that we have used earlier for this? We'll be using it as d1 equals to d2, and we'll write it as s1 t1 equals to s2 t2, and we'll substitute the values, right? So I'll solve the solution here. So D1 equals to D2. The distance covered in the both incidents, right? So we'll be writing S1 T1 equals to, what is S1 value? We don't know. S, we'll consider it. And what is the value of T1? We don't know that as well. So we'll consider it to be T. And what is they give us S2 as 4 by running 4 by 7th of his speed. Means we know his initial speed is here. And by 4 by 7th of his speed means S2 will be 4 by 7, yes, right? And fine. What is the T2? The man reaches the target 18 minutes late. So now we'll be writing it as done. Once we solve this, we'll get the answer. After taking 7 to that side, 70 equals to 40 plus, how much ma? 18 4 equals to, and keeping it as 18 into 4 only because 70 minus 40 will be getting 3t, right? So 3t equals to 18 into 4, 6 seconds. So it becomes into 4. Thank you, ma, for everyone for showing the patience. And we are working on this issue. And I hope everyone can see my screen right now as I'm presenting it. So yes, we'll be continuing to the next question. I'll explain you the question once again. D1 equals to D2 and S1 T1 equals to S2 T2. And we don't know the values of an S and T in the first case. So we take them S and T directly. And the second case, they have given it to be 4 by 7th of S and T plus 18 happened. So 70 equals to 40 plus 18 into 4, and we get 3t equals to 18 into 4. T value equals to 24. We get the value directly. I hope everyone is understanding this because this is a basic sum. And we'll be going to the next question now. So the answer is 24, ma. And now, if a man walk at the rate of 5 km per hour, he misses a train by 7 minutes. However, if he walks at the rate of 6 km per hour, he reaches the station 5 minutes before the arrival of the train. Find the distance covered by him to reach the station. So, if we use this, like if we solve these questions, this kind of questions, we'll be taking a lot of time. So there is a shortcut method for this, and I'll be explaining it to you right now. So consider it to be here. There is a man who is walking at 5 km per hour in the first case scenario, and he misses the train by 7 minutes. So let us consider this to be the clock, right? And this is the supposed time, and he is late by 7 minutes. So if somewhere here, right? This is 7 minutes. And In what case? So we'll be taking it to be plus 7, right? He walks at a rate of 6 kilometer per hour, 6 kmph. If he is walking at 6 kmph, then what is happening? He reaches the station 5 minutes before the arrival of the train. So what will happen? So we'll be writing it to be minus 5 than the original time. Okay. So now what happened? The time difference is how much, ma? How much time difference? Please don't consider it to be plus 7 and minus 5, so it is 2. Don't do this, please. That is a blunder. The time distance here, so the time difference here is 12 minutes, right? So now what we'll do is, numbers, what is the LCM of 6 and 5? As both of them are co-primes, we'll be taking that their product as the LCM, because if any two numbers are co-primes, their LCM is their product, right? So 30 is their LCM. So I'll be taking it like, let us consider there is a 30 kilometer. There is a distance they have to travel, okay? That is 30 kilometer. Then he'll be reaching in how many minutes, ma? 6 hours, right? If 30 kilometer per hour is the 30 kilometer is the distance, and he's traveling 5 kilometer per hour, he'll be reaching the location, the destination in 6 hours, right? That is, he'll be reaching the location in 6 hours. And now we consider the 30 kilometer distance. And what is the next case scenario? He'll be traveling with 6 kilometer per hour. Then in how many hours will he be reaching the distance, ma? Like the location, the destination in 5 hours. So if the distance here we consider it to be 30 kilometers, then we get the time difference to be 1 hour, right? Here we get the time difference to be 30 kilometers. Then we get the time difference to be 1 hour, right? Here we get the time difference to be 1 hour. So what we'll consider is, for 30 kilometers, if the distance is 30 kilometer, they are having a time difference of 1 hour. 1 hour means how many minutes, ma? 60 minutes, right? Then here, what is the scenario we got? 12 minutes. Then how much is the distance? So here what we did is, we assumed the distance to be 30 kilometers. So why did we take exactly 30? So that is so that the distance is 30 kilometers. So why did we take exactly 30? So that the distance is 30 kilometers, and we consider the distance to be 30 kilometers. If the distance is 30 kilometers, then the time difference to be 1 hour. So what will happen is, time difference is 30. So what is the LCM of 30 into 12 by 60? 12 by 2 is 12. Like, we took the LCM of these numbers and we got 12. So yes, um, here I hope everyone understood this question. How we assumed it to be 30 kilometers, and we get the time, and we are assuming it if the distance is 30 kilometers, then the time difference is 1 hour, and we got the time difference to. Yes, so we'll be going to the next question. So here till now we have completed the topics of time, speed and distance. These are the kind of questions that you'll be getting in the TCS NQT. And now we'll be going into time and work topic. And I would like to give you some basics on this topic as well. So please look at the screen. There is something called, for example, if I have given you a scenario where a person can finish his work in N days, if a person considers that work to be 1, then how N days to complete a work, then in 1 day he'll be finishing 1 by nth part of the work. And this method is called unitary method. To calculate something in this method, we call it unitary method. It will be very helpful in the future. So please make sure you understand this. And there are few more formulas where a person A and another person B, and they complete the work in P days and Q days, right? If A can finish a work in P days and B can finish that same work in Q days, and if they ask us in how many days can the work be done if A and B work together, then that there is a formula for that, that is PQ by P plus Q. This is the formula, and I'll explain you how we got this as well. So, for example, whenever we want to find out the time effective or the time take to complete the work, and they have given a scenario like a person A takes P days and B takes Q days and C takes R days and so on. As long as we have many people, we can use this formula. Doesn't matter if it's more than two and all, then it's done. So the time effective will be 1 by P plus 1 by Q plus 1 by R. And if there's one more person, we'll be writing it to be 1 by S as well. Right? So in this scenario, in this particular scenario, what we have done is we have only two people, right? So what we'll write it 1 by time effective. I'm writing it in capital T equals to 1 by P plus 1 by Q, right? So I'll cross multiply with the Q and B. So we'll be getting Q plus P in the numerator and P into Q in the denominator equals to 1 by T. Then T equals to how much now? PQ by, right? Yes. So I hope this is clear for everyone. I will get into the questions now. So please note down this formula. Time effective equals to PQ by P plus Q. And if they have given us more than two people, we'll be writing it as 1 by T equals to 1 by P plus 1 by Q plus 1 by R plus 1 by S, as how many people are there, we'll be writing for those many people. And now while coming to the first question of time and work, it is given that A can do a piece of work in 10 days and B can do it in 15 days. How many days both will take to complete the work, right? So A takes 10 days and B takes 15 days. It means that we have the values of P and Q, right? We have the values of both P and Q. We can substitute it in this formula. PQ by P plus Q, right? So 1 by 10 is 25. So how much is 150 by 25? 60 by 25. times, right? So if both these, so the answer is 6 marks. I hope it is clear for everyone. We just had the formula pq by p plus q and we substituted both the values of p and q as it is given in the question and we got the answer. While moving to the next question, here A can do a piece of work in 12 days, B in 15 days, C in 30 days. In how much time will they take to finish the work? So here we have three scenarios, like three person who are working on a given particular task, right? So now which formula will be using? 1 by t equals to 1 by p plus 1 by q plus 1 by r, right? So 1 by t equals to 1 by 12 plus 1 by 15 plus 1 by 30. So whenever you have some LCM or something, it will be a very big task for you. What I'd suggest you is take the common numbers. Here 15 and 30 are the commons, right? So what I can write, I'll keep the 1 by 30 as 1 by 30 and 1 by 15 I'll write it as 2 by 30, right? Instead of writing it as 1 by 15, I'm writing it as 2 by 30 because we'll get the same numbers for both of these. And 2 plus 1 by 30, that is 3 by 30, right? Here we left the value of 1 by 12 as it is. So 1 by t equals to 1 by 12 plus 1 by 10. Now we can multiply 10 into 12 is 120 by 10 is 5 by. I hope it is clear for all of you. Hello, ma'am. So yes, we have the values of 1 by t1, 1 by t2 and 1 by t3, like 1 by 12 plus 1 by 15 plus 1 by 30, right? So I have written 1 by t equals to 1 by 12 plus 1 by 15 plus 1 by 30. If you want to do it by taking LCM for all of those three together, you can do that. It is not wrong, but it would take a lot of time for you to solve it if you take the LCM of all of those three, right? So what I did is I wrote 1 by 15 as 2 by 30 and 2 by 30 plus 1 by 30 is 3 by 30 and we'll be getting it as 1 by 10. And 1 by t equals to 1 by 12 plus 1 by 10. Now we can write t equals to directly pq by p plus q. I did that 120 by 22. We got 60 by 11. That is 5 5 11. And I hope it is clear for all of you. We'll be moving on to the next question. Someone please let me know in the comment section if it's clear for you or not. Is my screen sharing? Can someone please let me know if the screen is sharing?
Yes. Am I audible? So, yes. I guess we have completed this question, like the 21st question. Is my screen sharing? Is my voice audible and is my screen sharing? Yes. So, yeah, now we'll be going to the next question. That is, it is given that A, B, and C can finish their work in 12 days, 15 days, and 24 days, respectively. And A started the work and worked for 2 days. Then B joined A and worked together for 5 days. And C completed the remaining work alone. Find the time taken by C to complete the remaining work. Okay. So when it is given in this kind of questions, first of all, we have to find out the efficiencies of each person. For example, what was the question that I have presented and that what are the values? 12, 15, and 24, right? So what we'll be doing is we'll be taking like A, B, and C are the values. 12, 15, and 24 are the time taken. For this question, first of all, let me explain you the efficiencies and you'll understand. I'll present you the screen side by side later. So please look at the screen once. When any question is given in this way, like A, B, and C together, you can compare work in A, B, C, like X, Y, Z values. We have to find out the efficiency of each person. Efficiency means how many parts of the work are they finishing for one day, right? So, for example, what is the LCM of these three numbers? For us to find out the LCM, are you taking it like 12, 15, and 24? Please don't do this. Take the larger value. What is larger value here? 24. And take the multiples of those numbers. 24. It is not cancelling in both 12 and 15. So we'll be going to the next number. And for us, if we check 48 or 70 to any other number, it won't be cancelled with 10 because it is not a multiple of 5, right? So we'll directly go to the next number, that is 120. When we go to 120, we check the 120, yes, it is divisible by all the three numbers, that is 12, 15 and 24, right? So the LCM is 120. Here I'll be considering the work to be 120 parts. So what I did is, I have, for example, if we consider this to be the work, and I have cut into 120 equal parts of work, okay? I have done that, and now A will be doing 12 parts of work per one day, and B will be doing 15 parts of work one day, and C will be doing 24 parts, like he will be taking 24 days, 15 days, 12 days, right? So now what I want to calculate is, how many parts of work are A, B and C doing out of 120 in one day? Okay, so we'll be taking the LCM to the base, that is 120, and A is doing, like he can finish a work in 12 days, and totally we have 120 parts of work. Then for one day, how many parts of work is he doing? 12 into 10 days, right? So 12 days he will be doing, so 10 parts of work will be done. And B will be doing 15 cancels out the 120 in how many times, ma? 8 times. And next 24 cancels 120 in 5 times, right? So A does 10 parts of work for one day, B does 8 parts of work for one day, and C does 5 parts of work in one day. And those are the efficiencies of each. We call them efficiencies. So now while going to the next question, it is given that A started the work, right? Okay, now I'll be presenting the screen, both the screens together for you. Let me start in here. Okay. And what are the efficiencies as we have calculated? 10 plus 8 plus 5, right? These are the efficiencies of each A, B, and C. Now, what have they given? A started the work and worked for 2 days. If A can do 10 parts of work for one day, for 2 days, how many parts of work will be done? 20, right? 20 parts of work is already done, and out of how many parts? Out of 120 parts, because that's the LCM we have taken. Then B joined A, and together they worked for 5 days. Now what happened? B joined A, and B is doing 8 parts of work and A is doing 10 parts of work. So totally how many parts of work are they doing? 18 parts of work is done for one day. And for how many work days did they work together? They work for 5 days, right? So for 5 days, so 5 into 18, that is 90. So totally 90 parts of work is done. So for the first 2 days and the next 5 days, out of 120 parts of work, 110 parts of work is already done. So how many parts of work is left? 10 parts of work is left. Now what happened? C completed the remaining work alone, right? So C will be doing how many parts of work for one day? 5 parts. We don't know how many days, that is what we have to calculate. We'll consider it to be X, and how many parts of work is left? 10. So now X equals to how much? 2. So X will be doing, that is C will be doing this same work for 2 days to complete it, right? I'll explain it to you once again. We have taken A, B and C, and they have given 12 days, 15 days and 24 days, right? And we'll calculate the LCM of those three numbers, that is 120 is the LCM. Now for us to calculate the efficiencies, we'll be dividing the work into 120 parts, and A takes 12 days to complete, right? So for one day, how many parts is he doing? 10 parts. And for one day, how many parts is B doing? 8 parts. And for how many days C is doing? How many parts is he doing? 5 parts. So these will be the efficiencies. And for first day, A started to work and worked for 2 days, right? So 2 into 10 parts of work is done by A. So 2 into 10 is 20. And next what happened? B joined A. And how many parts of work is done for next 5 days? 18 parts of work is done for 5 days. That is 90. So out of 120 parts of work, 110 parts of work is already done and 10 parts of work is left. And that 10 parts of work is done alone by C. And how many parts of work C does? 5. So X equals to 2. I hope everyone understood this. Anyone has any doubts? Please let me know in the comment section. Okay, now we'll be going to the next question. I hope it is clear for everyone with this 20-second question. If you have any doubts, please let me know. So the next question is, A works twice as fast as B, and if B can complete a work in 12 days independently, the number of days in which A and B can together finish the work. So they have given the efficiencies, right? A can work twice as fast as B. Now, for example, it is given that A can work twice as fast as B, right? So, for example, if B can complete the work, they have given that B can complete the work in 12 days, right? They have given that B can complete the work in 12 days. Then the number of days in which A can work, see, for example, I am working for 1 day and you can work twice as fast as me means you can finish that same work in half day, right? So if I'm working for 2 days and you work twice as fast as me, like if you are increasing your speed, then you'll be finishing that same work in how many days? 1 day, because you are twice as fast. That means you'll be taking less time. The more you work, the less time you take, right? So here it is given that A works twice as fast as B means then the number of days that A take will be 6 days because half of it, right? I hope this is clear for everyone. If A works twice as fast as that is PQ by P plus Q. That is how much? 12 into 6 by 18. I'll be cancelling it here 2 times, 3 times, and here 2 times. So the answer is 4. I hope it is clear for everyone. A, I'll explain it to you once again. A works twice as fast as B means the number of days that A take than B would be half. If, for example, I said that A works thrice as fast as B, and B takes 12 days to finish, then the number of days that A would take to complete that work will be 12 by 3, that is 4 days. Then we'll be taking here 4. But in this case, they have given that A works twice as fast as B, right? So we'll be taking half the value and we'll be getting PQ by P plus Q, that is 12 into 6 by 12 plus 6, and the answer is 4. I hope it is clear for everyone. If you have any doubts, please let me know. Am I clear, ma? Please let me know in the comment section. Okay, thank you, Rekha. So now we'll be going to the next question. That is, Rajesh can complete a job in 18 days and Rohit is 50% more skilled than Rajesh. Find the total time taken to do the same job when they both work together. Right? Okay. They have given that Rajesh is 50% more efficient. Like more skilled means more efficient, right? So we'll be using the concept of percentages here. Let me explain. For example, I mean, not for example, Rajesh, he can complete a work in 18 days, right? And here it is given that the percentages, right? So let us consider Rajesh to be 100% work and he takes 18 days to complete the work. He is working with 100% skills and he is taking 18 days to finish that work. Now what happened? There is someone called Rohit who is 50% more efficient, right? So it is given that Rajesh is 100%, then 50% more means how much percent is Rohit efficient? Not 50. It is 50% more. So 100 plus 50, that is 150% efficient, right? So if 100% efficient means he's taking 8 days, and if he is 150% efficient, then how many days will he take? If you take it to be like this and next, if you do cross multiplication, it will be a very huge mistake. But why we are not supposed to do that is as the efficiency increases, what happens? The number of days required will be decreased, right? As the efficiency increases, the number of days required will be decreased. So now what we have to do is 100 by 18 equals to, we should be using the vice versa method. Like if efficiency E1 by E2 equals to, we should be writing the days d2 by d1 because they are inversely proportional. As this increases, this will be decreasing, right? So now what we have to do is we should not write e1 by 2 equals to d1 by d2. We have to write e1 by 8 equals to d2 by d1. So what we'll write? 100 by 150 is equals to x by 18. Now we'll get the value of x as 12 because this cancels 2 times, 3 times, and 3 here cancels 6 times. So 6 to x equals to 12. That means Rohit takes 12 days to finish that work, right? So we have the value of the number of days that Rajesh take to finish that work and number of days that Rohit takes to finish that work, right? So now what we can do, we can directly use the formula of PQ by P plus Q. Now what happens? P value is how much P is taking, that is Rajesh is taking 18 days to finish that work. And how many days is Rohit taking? 12 days. 18 to 12 by 18 plus 12, that is 30. Here 6 table cancels 2 times. Here how many times, ma? 5 times. Now we can write 36 by 5, that is 7.2 days. So if both Rajesh and Rohit work together, then the work will be done in how many days, ma? 7.2 days. So the answer is option A. I hope it is clear for everyone. I'll explain it to you once again. See, Rajesh, he takes 18 days and we are considering him to be 100% efficient, right? If 100% efficient, he is taking 18 days and Rohit is 50% more efficient. That means he is 150% efficient. Then how many days will he take? Here you will take it as X. But what we have to do, we are not supposed to take it directly proportional. We are supposed to take it as inversely proportional. Now what happens? E1 by it equals to D2 by D1. So efficiency is 100 by 150 equals to X by 18. And X value is equals to 12. We got the value of X. Now what we have to do is, we have to find out the number of days that both Rajesh and Rohit together take. We have 18 and 12. That is 18 into 12 by 18 plus 12. That is 8. X value will be getting directly as 7.2. Right? So the number of days that both of them together take is 7.2 days. I hope it is clear for everyone. If you have any doubts, please let me know in the comment section. Someone let me know. If you have any doubts, please ask. Okay. Well, coming to the next question. You have no doubts? Okay, ma. Thank you. Uh, 25. Well, coming to the 25th question. Rekha and Sachin can complete the work in 60 days and 45 days respectively. And Rahul starts work with 120% of his capacity. In how many days will they complete 75% of the work if they work together? Okay. They have given us the number of days both of them work with, and they are giving the scenario where Rahul works with 120% of his capacity. He is not using just his 100% capacity, he is using 120% of his capacity. As the capacity increases, what happens? The number of days required will be decreased, right? So now what will be taking? Rahul, he is taking how many days to complete that work? 60 days, right? And he starts with 120% of his work. That means for 100% efficiency, you need 60 days, and he is using 120% of his efficiency. Then he'll be using how many days? We'll be taking this as x. But again, as the efficiency increases, the number of days required will be decreased, right? So we'll be taking the vice versa. That is 100 by 120 equals to x by 60. And here it cancels out 2 times and here 50 times, right? So x equals to how much, ma? 50. That means Rahul can complete the work in 50 days because he's working with 120% of his efficiency. Now what happened? What is the other person, Sachin? He can finish that work in how many days? 45 days. Is he using 100% of his efficiency? No, yeah, he's using 100% of his efficiency. They didn't mention anything about Sachin, right? So we'll calculate the time taken by both of them to complete the work. That is PQ by P plus Q, that we can get PQ by P plus Q. But that is not what they are asking us. What are they asking actually? In how many days will they complete 75% of the work if they work together? I'm making the screen bigger, just so I can make a better solution here. So yes, 15 to 45 by 50 plus 45, that is 95, right? 50 into 45 by 95 is the time taken for both of them to complete the 100% of work. But what are they asking? The time taken to complete the 75% of the work. They are not asking us the entire time taken. For them to complete 75% of the work, how much time is, like how many days are required? We'll be taking it as x. As the work increases, the number of days also increase. Here also, this is the number of, this is the work efficiency, right? This is not the total work they are doing. It is the amount of the work. This is the percentage of work, not the percentage of efficiency, right? So as the work increases, the number of days they require to complete them also increases. So we'll be directly taking it, not inversely. We'll be directly taking. So 50 into 45 by 95 by x equals to 100 by 75, right? Then we can write it as 50 into 45 by 95x equals to 100 by 75. And if you solve this, you'll be getting the value of x equals to 17.76. I'm not doing the calculation here properly because we don't have much time. And yes, you can use your calculators because in TCS NQT, they will be providing you the digital calculator on the system screen itself. So you can use that calculator. So we'll be getting the value of x as 17.76. I hope it is clear for everyone. I'll explain it to you once again. So Rahul takes 60 days to finish a work, and what are they saying? He's using 120% of his efficiency, right? So for 100 of his efficiency, he needs 60 days. If he use 120% of his efficiency, then what is he going, how many days is he going to require? As the efficiency increases, the number of days decreases. So what happens? We'll be taking it inversely. So 100 by 120 equals to x by 60, and we get the value of x equals to 50. Now we have the value of P and Q as 50 and 45. So 50 into 45 by 50 plus 45 will be the value. That is the number of days they take to complete 100% of their work. Right? For them to complete the 100% of work, they'll be using how many days by 50 into 45 by 95. But what are they asking in the question? In how many days will they complete? Only 75% of the work. We don't want to calculate the 100%. So we'll be doing it as here, like 50 by 45 into 95 is 100%. Then in how many days will they complete the 75% of the work? And if we do this formula here, right here, yes, this thing now, we will be getting x equals to 17.76 as the answer. I hope it is clear for everyone. If you have any doubts, please let me know in the comment section. I'll be moving to the next question now. Okay. The next question is, the work done by x minus 1 men in x plus 1 days and the work done by x plus 1 men in x plus 2 days are in the ratio 5 is to 6, right? And they are asking the value of x is. Okay. Before I go into the solving this question, I want to give you a small gist of how this works. There are three things that would matter while coming to time and work. That is the time taken to complete that work and the work that is given and the number of people working on it. Right? So let us consider the first case scenario where time is constant. If time is constant and the work is increased, I have increased the work. Right? Now, what happens? I will be requiring more people to complete that work, right? So if you increase the work, the people required also will be increased. So what I can write here, W1 by W2 equals to P1 by P2. In some questions, they will be asking instead of saying people, they will be saying men, okay? So even in that case, we will be writing M1 by M2. Okay, this is the formula for the if time is constant. And while coming to the next case, where work is constant, if work is constant, then and I have increased the number of people working on it, right? So, for example, I have given you to construct a building, and initially I gave you 10 people to work on it, and now I increase like 20 more people. Now, what happens? The time required will be reduced, right? Because there are a lot of people working on it, so the time required will be reduced. That means as the people increase, the time will be decreased. That is, it's inversely proportional. So now what we can write is P1 by P2 equals to T2 by T1. Whenever it's inverse, we'll be writing like this, right? And the third case scenario where people are constant. Okay, when people are constant and the work is increased, right? There are only 5 people working on a construction of the building, and I have increased the work. Like I asked you to build one more floor in that building, and now what happens? The time required for you to construct that building will also be increased, right? So as the work increase, the time also increase. So it is directly proportional. What will I be writing? W1 by W2 equals to T1 by T2. I hope it is clear for everyone. When time is constant, then work and men are directly proportional. And if work is constant, the number of men, like people or men, how many? If work is constant, people is directly inversely proportional to time. Because if people increase, the time required will be decreased. And if people are constant, then the work increases, the time also increases. So they are directly proportional. We can write W1 by W2 equals to T1 by T2. I hope it is clear for everyone. Now we'll be going to the question. If you want to make a note of it or just click a screenshot, it would be better for you rather than writing it down. So yes. In this question, what is given? The work done by x minus 1 men in x plus 1 days, and the work done by x plus 1 men in x plus 2 days are in the ratio. Yes. For this, we'll be using one more formula as well. Uh, please click a screenshot after I'm done with explaining this as well. They will be giving us a scenario where M1 men works on W1 work and can complete that work in D1 days, working H1 hours per day. That is, for example, like 5 men can complete building construction of building, and they can finish that work in like 20 days, and they are working 8 hours per day. Right? That is scenario one. And there will be one more scenario where M2 men are working on W2 work, can finish that work in D2 days, working H2 hours per day. Then there is a formula that relates all of these 8 variables together. That is M1 D1 H1 by W1 equals to M2 D2 H2 by W2. Okay, this is the formula. M1 D1 H1 by W1 equals to M2 D2 H2 by W2. When in question, sometimes they may not mention about the number of hours they're working, right? In that case, you can consider the number of hours they're working is same, and you can cancel out H1 and H2. Okay, so M1 D1 H1 by W1 equals to M2 D2 H2 by W2. I hope it is clear till now. Please click a screenshot of this. We'll be going into the question now. We'll be using this formula here. Okay. So here they have given. Can I clear the screen? I hope you have all clicked the screenshot. I'll give a minute. Please click a screenshot. I'll just clear the screen. Okay. What is it given that? The work done by x minus 1 men, that is m1, x minus 1 is m1, in x plus 1 days, that is d1, right? D1 is x plus 1. And the work done by x plus 1 men, this is m2 scenario, right? X plus 1 men in x plus 2 days, that is d2, are in the ratio 5 is to 6. What is the ratio 5 is to 6? It is of work done, right? So W1 by W2 equals to 5 by 6, right? So when I have given you the formula M1 D1 H1 by W1 equals to M2 D2 H2 by W2, I can write it like this. I bring this to the denominator here. M1 D1 H1 by M2 D2 H2 equals to W1 by W2, right? Now, as I said that they won't be mentioning the hours in most of the questions, and they haven't mentioned the hours in this as well. So we'll cancel out H1 and H2, right? Done. Now what happens? M1 is given x minus 1 into what is D1? X plus 1 by M2. What is M2? X plus 1 into D2. What is D2? X plus 2. Please don't multiply this already, because we have something in the numerator and denominator that is in common. So yes, which is equals to W1 by W2. And they gave us the value of W1 and W2. They said that they are in the ratio 5 is to 6. So we can write this equals to 5 by 6. I'll cancel x plus 1 and x plus 1. Right? Now after writing this, what I can do here? I'll cross multiply it. So 6x minus 6 equals to 5x plus 10, because 5 into x plus 2. So 5x plus 5 into 5x plus 10. So x equals to how much, ma? 16. Done. They have asked us the value of x, and we substituted. We got the value x equals to 60. I'll explain it to you once again. They have given m1 d1 and m2 d2, and we have the formula m1 d1 h1 by m2 d2 h2 M1D1 H1 by W1 equals to M2D2 H2 by W2. And we took W1 by W2 to the right hand side because we have the ratio in the question, that is 5 by 6. And yeah, we have substituted x minus 1 and all the values. We got the value of x equals to 16. Is it clear for everyone? Please let me know in the comment section. Is it clear? Okay. Now we'll be moving on to the next question. It is given that 6 men can prepare 6 toys in 5 days, working 4 hours a day. In how many days can 10 men can prepare 15 toys, working 5 hours a day? So we have all the values, like the number of men M1, M2 in both case. M1D1 H1 by W1 equals to M2D2 H2 by W2. That is the formula we'll be using here. So let me just erase this. Yeah. So M1 D1 H1 by W1 equals to M2 D2 H2 by W2. What is M1? 6. How many days are they working? 5. How many hours? 4. By what is the work? Preparing 6 toys equals to how many days? 10 men. M2 is 10. And they're asking the days. We'll consider it to be X. Into how many hours are they working? Working 5 hours a day. By W2. What is the work? 15 toys, right? So we'll be taking as 15 directly. Now what happens? Here 5 and 5 cancels out. Here 6 and 6 cancels out, right? So x equals to what now? 15 into 4 by 10. 15 fours is how much? 60. 60 by 10 equals to 6. So the answer is 6. It is a direct formula substitution. So I hope it is clear for you. We'll be moving to the next question now. This is a 4-part question now. We'll be doing like the first part is the information we have right now, and we'll be doing ABCD questions. So first of all, let us read the information they have given to us. Okay. A, B, and C can do a piece of work in 24, 30, and 40 days respectively. Then how many days they will take to complete the remaining work? If, okay. First of all, they have given the values of the number of days all of them take, right? 24, 30, and 40. Now what we'll do, we'll solve this kind of questions using the efficiency method, right? We'll be using the efficiency method here. So 24, 30, and 40. These are the time taken by A, B, and C. Now, first of all, we'll calculate the LCM of all of these. Now, what we'll do? We'll take the bigger number, right? 40. What is the multiple of 40? Next multiple of 40 because it doesn't obviously cancel with 30 and 24. 80. Is 80 cancelled by 24 and 30 equally? No, it is not cancelled. Now we'll go to the next number, that is 120. Yes, 120 is cancelled by 24 5 times, 30 4 times, and 40 3 times. So it is the LCM here, right? So the work will be divided into 120 parts first, and A takes how many parts of work to be done in one day, ma? 24 5 is 120, right? So 5 parts, and B he takes 30 days to finish that work, right? So 30 into how many is 124, and C is 3. So 5 plus 4 plus 3. So A is 5, B is 4, and C is 3. That means A completes 5 parts of work in one day, B completes 4 parts of work in one day, and C completes 3 parts of work in one day. This is the information. We got the efficiencies already. Now look at the question. A and B started the work And what happened? After 6 days, after 8 days, right? After 8 days, C also joined them. Okay. Let me just initially who started the work, ma? A and B started the work. So if A completes 5 parts of work in one day and B completes 4 parts of work in one day, how many parts of work is done in one day if A and B work together? 9 parts, right? 9 parts of work done in one day. And for how many days are they working together? For 8 days. Because what happened after 8 days? C also joined them. So 9 into 8 equals to 72 parts of work is done in the first 8 days. Now what? C also joined them to complete the work. If C also joined them, how many parts of work is done in that? 12 parts, because 5 plus 4 plus 3. So 12 into, we don't know how many parts of work, like how many days they are working together, because that is what we have to find out. Equals to, out of 120 parts, 72 parts of work is done. How many parts of work is left? 48 parts of work is left. So x equals to how much, ma? 4. It means that after A and B working for 8 days, C also joined them to complete that work in 4 days. I hope it is clear for everyone. And we'll be going to the part B question now. What did they say? A and B started the work, and after 6 days, B was replaced by C. Okay. Yes, A and B started the work. A and B started the work means how many parts of work is done? 5 plus 4, that is 9 into. For how many days are they working together? 6 days, right? So 9 fours 54, 9 6 54, right? Now what happened? B was replaced by C. If B was replaced by C, that means only A and C are working together. If only A and C are working together, how many parts of work are they doing? 8 parts of work. And do we know how many days are they working for? No, that is what we have to find out. So we'll take it as X. So out of 120, 54 parts of work is done. How many parts of work is left? 66 parts of work is left. So x equals to 66 by 8. That is 33 by 4. What you can write it as? 8 1 by 4. So you can write it as 8.25 days or 8 1 by 4 days, your wish. Whatever it suits you, right? And I hope it is clear for you now. We'll be solving the, like, okay, I'll just wait for a minute. Please let me know if there are any doubts you have in this, because this is a very important kind of concept now. Please let me know if you have any doubts in the comment section, please. Okay, the only thing that explains this scenario is you are so deep into the concept that you are not even able to reply now. But fine, we'll be going to the next question. That is, A started the work, and after 5 days, B also joined them, and after 3 more days, C also joined them. So what happened here is, I hope you remember the efficiencies, that is 5, 4, and 3, how we got this. So I'm clearing this screen now. Okay. So 5, 4, and 3 are the efficiencies. Now what happened? A started the work. That means only he is doing the work. For how many days, ma? After 5 days, B joined means for 5 days only he is working alone, right? So that is 25 parts of work done out of 120 parts of work. Now what happened? B also joined, right? B also joined means what? 5 plus 4, 9 parts of work will be done. Into for how many days, ma? After 3 more days. They said C joined them after 3 more days. That means for 3 days, A and B work together. So that is 9 into 3, that is 27. So how many parts of work is done? 52 parts of work is done already. Out of 120, 52 parts of work is done means how many parts of work is left? 68 parts of work is left, right? Now what we'll do is C also joined. If C also joined, how many parts of work is done, ma? 12 parts of work. And do we know how many number of days they are working for? No, that is what you have to find out. So X equals to 68 by 12. That is equals to how much, ma? We will get it like 5, 8 by 12. So it means 5 2 by 3. You can write 5 2 by 3 or 5.66. It is your wish, whatever you want to write it. Depending on the option, you have to check it. If you get 5, 18, 8 by 12 and you will be like, no, they have given 5 2 by 3. Please don't be like, no, there is no option. Don't think that way. Please try to cancel out. Check if all the options are checked or not. Okay. Now we'll be going to the last question of the session, ma. All of them started the work and 4 days A left. Okay. After 4 days, A left the work, and after 5 more days, B also left. So what happened is initially, okay, I guess I can do it here. Initially, all of them started the work. That is, 12 parts of work will be done for one day. And for how many days did they do that? For 4 days they have done that, right? So 48 parts of work is done out of 120. Next, after 4 days, what happened? A left the work, right? If A left the work, how many parts of work is left? 7. Because out of 12, you take out 5, that is only 7 left. And they work together for how many days? And after 5 more days, B left means still for 5 more days, B and C work together, right? So into 5, that is how much, ma? 35. So out of 120, 48 plus 35 parts of work is done. That is how much? 83, right? So out of 120, 83 parts of work is done. Now what happened after 5 days? B also left. It means only C is there to complete the work. So out of 120, 83 parts of work is done means how many parts of work is left, ma? 37 parts of work is left, right? Now what we'll do? C is, how much efficiency is C? 3. And how many days is he working? We don't know. We'll calculate it. That is X equals to 37 by 3. You can write it as 12 1 by 3 or 12.33. Right? I hope it is clear for everyone. So yes, ma, X equals to 12.33. After, initially all of them were working together, A, B and C, and they worked for 4 days, so 48 parts of work is done. And later what happened is A left, so 4 plus 3, that is 7 parts of work is done for one day. And they worked together for 5 days, so 35 parts of work is done. So totally 83 parts of work is done. That means 37 parts of work is left. Now what happens? 3 is the efficiency of C. So 3 into how many days is he working? We don't know. So 3 into X equal to 37. X equals to 37 by 3. That is 12 1 by 3. And write it as 12.33. And I hope it is clear for all of you, ma. And yes, the session for today has completed. We'll be closing it now. Please let me know in the comment section if you have any doubts at all. Have any doubts, ma? Okay. Thank you, ma. Thank you for your patience and all. Have a great day, everyone. And all the best for your TCS exam as well. See you in the next session. Thank you.